The cold is really good. A little girl just came in during my last class and started crying. Ah! so,
Oh,
so I'm still like ah. Um, she's 6 years old and she was pretty worried. So yeah, so the cold is better. I'm still kind of coughing a little, but that's
mhm.
that's all that's all right. So
Oh, go.
how are you doing, Elena?
I'm fine. Yesterday was my birthday. Yeah, we had a little party. It was not a party. It was like a dinner with our
Uh-huh.
best friend. There was just two guests. My
Uh-huh.
husband prepared some delicious meal, and
Oh.
and after we went to the cinema.
Okay, so it's your birthday. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. And welcome, Pitaya. Is that your name?
Yes, my name is Pitaya.
Awesome,
Hi.
awesome. So, hi, Pitaya. Where are you from, Pitaya?
I come from Thailand.
Thailand. Awesome. Well, welcome. And let's see, what time is it in Thailand right now?
It's five, 5 o'clock, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay. So, for some reason, I thought it was later. Okay. Awesome. And Leticia, welcome again.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
She's Leticia is from Spain, and Leticia, this is Elena from Russia, and
Okay.
Pitaya from Thailand, and and I'm Holly from the U.S. and I'm still kind of at the very end of my last class. My 6-year-old niece ran into the bedroom and started crying. And Leticia was asking a question, and I was like, oh, "What do I?" So I'm still kind of like, but it's 4 a.m. So she apparently had an accident, and then um, so and of course my door was open and she saw me, and so
Is she okay now?
yeah, she's okay. I
Okay.
gave her her dad is taking care of it. So yeah, she just was she saw a mouse and she was freaked out. So
Oh.
and which it freaks me out too if I were to see that. But we live in the countryside, so that happens.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So Pitaya, are you new to Verbling?
Not yet.
Not
No.
no. Okay. Yeah, just new to my class.
Yes, just
So
only in your class.
yeah, excellent. All right. Well, just Leticia, I think her first class was last time. So, to tell you a little about me, I am from the U.S. I'm in Idaho. Right now it's 4 in the morning, and I am a night owl. I love to. I have more energy at night than I do during the day. So during the day I'm dragging, but at night I'm actually doing fine. Um, and I started teaching in 1994. I've taught in Finland for 11 years, and then I also taught in South Korea for a couple years, and have been teaching online for about 8 years now. And I took a couple years off from full-time teaching online, and now I'm back. So. Um, so, thank you, Alina. That's great. So, yeah. So, a year ago I was working in a company as a corporate trainer, and now I'm back working from home, and I'm absolutely loving it. Pitaya, what do you do?
Actually, I am a lawyer.
Uh-huh. Okay. What is your specialty?
Uh, Actually, but I have decided to quit my job
Oh, have
now
you? Okay.
because I would like to study to continue further my educations.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So you're kind of making a life change as well.
I
Okay.
think
Excellent.
that.
Well, cool. All right. And Leticia is a history and geography teacher. And Elena, you work in interior design, right?
Yeah, that's
Or
absolutely right.
that's okay. Yeah, architecture, interior design, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. All right.
Mm.
Well, I do a lot of business English classes. However, this class is that we're doing today, the topic is the boomerang generation, and it is more general English. It is for your levels. It is upper intermediate to advanced level. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you guys think the boomerang generation is? Anybody have any idea?
It's kind of a reflex from generation.
What did you say again? Say that again.
Have an effect from a generation to other generations.
Okay, that's a good that is actually a good guess. It is not correct, but it is good. An interesting thought on that. So basically the effect that each generation has on each other. So good. Okay. What do you, Alina? What do you think a boomerang generation would be?
Yeah, I agree with Pitaya that the generation, all generations are connected. The more, most of them, the connection is between. The better connection is between parents and children, yeah, and also grandparents. I believe that they have a close connection with their grandchildren also.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't I can't describe this this word, but it's something which is really, yeah, it's connection between generation and how they involved, yeah, between each other.
Okay. And Leticia, do you have an idea on that?
Well, I think my guess is that the boomerang generation is a generation whose standard of living is worse than that of their parents, so they have to go back to live with them because they can't afford to live by themselves, to make a living of themselves. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a fantastic guess. And we have another person. Hi, Naomi. Naomi, how are you?
Thank you, and you?
Very good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Spain.
Spain, awesome. We're doing an article discussion on the boomerang generation. Do you have a guess what this means? These are the guesses so far.
Yes, because I have read a little in the below the videos, the people who return to the parents' home.
Okay, yeah. So it's basically Leticia was actually absolutely correct. A boomerang. This is a boomerang right here. The lady's holding, and that's you throw the boomerang and then it returns. You throw it and it comes back. And the boomerang generation are the current generation because for economic reasons they are returning home and living with mom and dad. Where there are some cultures in Thailand, for example, Pitaya, do people leave home? When do people leave home?
When do people leave home? When they graduate.
When they graduate.
Yes.
Okay.
And some family they still live with their parents.
Okay. And how about in Spain, Naomi and Leticia? When do people leave home there? Do they leave when they go to school?
Well, it used to be when they graduated, but nowadays they leave home in their late 20s, early 30s, because they cannot make a living for themselves yet.
Oh, okay. So once they're able to make a living, then they leave. And Elena, how about in Russia? When do students leave? When do children leave home?
Yeah, that's after they graduate university normally.
Okay.
When they start to work. It's the same time when they graduate university.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I believe that earlier it was more popular to live with the parents, but now your generation tries to live alone
Uh-huh.
and to organize their family alone, not to connect their home with family nest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And so they want to the new generation wants to be independent and not be at home. Yeah, we probably wouldn't say family nest. We do have the word empty nest, and I think that's where you got that. An empty nest is when
Yeah.
yeah, but we actually don't use it that way. We only use it when we're talking about the parents having nobody at home. So, okay, how about in Japan? When do people leave home?
Yes. Yeah. After graduate school, high school or university,
Mm-hmm.
or some after the high school, some students go to the university far away from their home, so
Uh-huh.
they leave their home.
Okay, so they do that on purpose, so they go far away so they can leave home.
Young people do so
Uh-huh.
intentionally. They
Yeah,
choose the university far away from their home.
yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
do in the States as well.
Mhm.
They'll live in New York and they'll choose a university in California so they can be as far away from possible. So
Yeah.
I did the same thing. My mother actually wanted me to stay in Idaho, and I went to Oregon, and I was actually thinking of going to Kansas, but all right. So let's go ahead and look at some key words, and then we're going to read an article together. So let's match the underlined words and expressions to their definitions below. This should go quite quickly, hopefully. Let's start with Pitaya. Could you read the very first? Okay, he's not here anymore. Okay, I'm just going to start with guys. Okay, could you read number
Okay.
one?
Okay. The chairman. Sorry. My Google.
Okay, let me
I see the buttons.
let me
On the
increase
screen. Yeah.
this
So, a bit.
bit more.
Okay. No. I mean, my button appears in the. Okay, now I see it clear.
Do you
Okay.
see it? Okay.
The chairman. Yes. Thank you. The chairman is reluctant to hire new staff due to his company's financial difficulties.
Okay. Due to its company's financial difficulties, is how we say it.
Oh, okay. But some people pronounce financial. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about that because I'm not sure. I know I've always said financial, so
Okay.
but I definitely don't want to correct somebody's pronunciation if it's correct. So, but okay, so the chairman is reluctant. So if everybody would help, okay, which of these words, a feeling of anger, advantage, making a sound when it moves slowly and quietly, not willing to do something, resting until you feel better, the home where you were brought up, and the period of time in your life when you are developing into an adult, which one of these definitions mean reluctant? Anybody know?
Uh,
Yeah,
I Go ahead.
I think it's E, not willing to do something.
Absolutely. Yes. It is not willing to do something. So he is not willing to hire new staff because of the financial difficulties of his company. Okay. Number two, Elena, could you read that? All right, the family nest. Okay, I corrected you on this and I was wrong. Okay. Could you read? Hello, Elena? Are you there?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Okay. Yes, I should find.
Yeah, can you read this first?
But you have listened. You listened to me when I read it or not?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Well, children grow up. They leave the family nest.
And you know, about 5 minutes ago, I told you that we don't use that. So obviously, in British English, they do. I've learned something new. So in American English, we only use empty nest. So, okay, so when children grow up, they leave the family nest. So what is the family nest?
Yeah, it's the home where you were brought up.
Perfect, okay. The home where you were brought up. Leticia, can you read number 3?
Yeah. As soon as John's adolescence finished, he found a full-time job.
Okay. Adolescence, which one would that be?
Okay. Age, the period of time in your life when you are developing as an adult.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Number 4. Naomi, could you read that? Number 4.
She tried to creep into her bedroom, but she woke up her mother.
Okay. So what is to creep? Anybody know?
D.
Yes.
Move slowly and quietly.
Move slowly and quietly. Exactly. Okay. Number 5. Leticia, could you read that?
Yeah, it's difficult to be quiet in her house because the floors are so creaky.
So what is creaky?
Creaky is making a sound when it moves.
Exactly. Okay. And okay, number 6.
He feels deep resentment towards his parents for his difficult childhood.
Okay. And that would be
Sounds like A.
a feeling of anger. Yes. Yeah. And number 7, Elena.
Joan is in bed nursing the flu.
Okay.
Okay, but nursing. Resting until you feel better.
Perfect. Okay. And the upside to being rich and famous is that you get to travel around the world. What one is that? So the advantage, that's the last one. So the advantage of being rich and famous. Okay, where are we at? It's for time. Okay, let's quickly try to use some of these words. So tell me about when you left your family nest. Naomi, when did you leave your family nest?
Let me think. Around 30, when I was 30, because I was really comfortable with my parents, living with my parents, and I haven't hurried to go out.
Okay, so you left quite late compared to many people.
Yes, yeah, I know. Yes, it's true.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Okay, how about you? When did you oh, he said be right back. Okay. I just said his name and then I saw that come up. Leticia, when did you leave your family nest?
I think in my mid-20s is when I was around 25 or 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after university and so forth. How about you? And Elena, you said you left 13 years ago. Was that after high school or college or?
Yeah, it was after. No, it was after my school.
Okay.
Before, when I started to study in university, I left my children, or I left my parents.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. It was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm used to be alone. Not alone. I'm used to be not with my families.
Family, yeah. And I left the same time. I left when I was 18. And I had roommates here and there. Every once in a while I would have roommates, but pretty much lived alone. Just recently, in the last a year and a half, 2 years, I actually moved in with my sister and her husband and their kids, and that's why baby girl came into my place. But we have the my place set up like it's my own little apartment. So I have a little kitchen set up and everything. So, but I'm close by to help them out with the kids and things like that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like I'm a boomeranger. So we talked about what do you think the boomerang generation means. So let's go ahead and read the text on the next page to find out if you were right. And I already told you were. So the boomerang generation. Rapidly increasing property prices and the collapse of the labor market are changing the lives of many young people, and some not so young. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this systematically. We'll have each person read one paragraph, and then I will read some as well. And if there's any words that you do not understand after each paragraph, just say something. And then if there's a pronunciation issue, I will let you know. Okay? So let's start out with Aka.
Yes. And when stand-up comedian Nat Latsema hit the age of 28, she found herself living back in her parents' house in the English town of Watford. For 6 long months, she lived there among the teen magazines and boy band posters of her childhood bedroom, pretending to her parents that she didn't smoke and going around like a reluctant toddler after her mom in the supermarket.
After her mum. Mum in the supermarket, okay? And of course in American English we say mom. Okay? Any words are in here? Okay, let's go on to 2. Elena, would you read that?
Yes, with pleasure.
Awesome.
When I moved back, I really felt I had messed up. All my friends were in London, and I was stuck in Watford with Mom, Dad, and the cats. She says I was so lonely, I started blogging about it. Loads of people started getting in touch saying they were in the same position. I even had emails from high-flying corporate managers saying they were back with Mom. The response was amazing.
Okay, so I even had emails. So in English, we stress the first E, so it's emails from High Flying Corp. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And Leticia, could you read number 3?
Yes, of course. Lurtsema, it soon became clear, was part of a boomerang generation, the group of young adults who have found themselves returning to the family nest due to a combination of increasing property prices, student debt, and the collapse of the youth labor market.
Perfect. Thank you. And Naomi, number 4.
According to the UK Office for National Statistics, almost a third of men and a fifth of women ages between 20 and 34 live at home with their parents, and the report published last month by the American researchers found that as many as 3 in 10 are returning to the family nest, the highest proportion since the 1950s.
Okay, so, and a fifth of women is how we pronounce it, women aged 20, between 20 and 34. Okay, instead of woman, women. Okay, any words here? Okay, could you read number 5?
Okay. It doesn't make you wonder what impact this might have in the future. Are we heading for an era where adolescence stretches right through the 20s? Are these keepers? Kids in parents' pockets going to be nursing hangovers at breakfast while still getting their shirts washed and meals cooked? Or will it create a new modern family structure with stronger, more adult bonds between generations?
Okay, are there any words here?
Keepers.
Kippers is a slang, and it basically means kids in parents' pockets. That's basically what they're basically saying is they're kids, but they're living at home. So so they're calling themselves kippers. But are they? The question is, are they going to be? Are they going to continue being kids, or will they actually be adults and help run the household? So that is the question. Are there any words in other words besides that one?
Impact is the same like effect. Effect. Or not?
Yes. Yeah. So what effect this might have in the future? It does make you wonder what effect this might have in the future. Exactly. And it does you know I think it's very possible for kids to move back home and actually be adults, but I think it's also very difficult. So, and number 6, Elena, can you read it?
According to parenting experts, Atkins, the nature of the experience is dictated by how well a new set of boundaries is established.
Okay, let's see if there's... Okay, that's correct. That's all there is. Okay. So new set of boundaries. So if they set boundaries right, it works out. Okay. Leticia, can you read number 7?
Yeah, this is something 22-year-old Susanna Hamilton became aware of when she moved back into her parental home in London last year. I definitely had to get used to a new adult relationship with my parents, she says. Yet it's still been a difficult adjustment, as she realized when she came in after a few drinks and smashed one of her mother's best plates. She then tried creeping into her own room, but was caught by her mum on the creaky stairs. It is slightly awkward coming back late at night, because I have to get past their bedroom to get to mine, but apart from that, it's been fine.
Okay, any words or phrases here?
Yeah, I would like to ask about smashed.
Smash, that means to break.
Oh.
So if you smash, basically, if you have a plate and it breaks, it goes into 2 pieces. But if you smash it, it's in too many pieces to count.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other words? Okay, number 8. Naomi.
Of course, there are upsides to being a boomeranger. There must be, otherwise so many people wouldn't be doing it. James Coveney, a 28-year-old police officer, has moved in with his mom along with his girlfriend Michelle. He reckons it will enable them to save some money to put toward a deposit. Another benefit is the bond Michelle has been able to form with James' mom.
James's mom, yeah. Okay. Any words here?
Bond? What does bond mean?
A bond is a close feeling towards somebody else. The best example is the bond a newborn baby has with their mother. They have this close feeling towards each other. So, okay, number 9, I'll read that. Matthew Harbridge, a 31-year-old teacher, has had a similar experience. Once his relationship with his mother comprised one weekly, reluctant, monosyllabic excuse me, phone conversation. Since moving back home, This has transformed into regular trips out to eat together and a proper adult relationship. I found living with her when I was growing up quite difficult, he says. This is my second chance. So do you guys know what a monosyllabic phone conversation would be?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. One that it's a makeup of monosyllables. I think that
Yeah.
yes, no, okay, good.
Yep. I was gonna say somebody pretend to be my mom or dad, and I'll. And that's exactly what I've said. You would ask me a question, and I would have said yes, no,
Oh,
good.
okay.
You know, it's like talking to a teenager.
Monosyllabic phone conversation.
Yeah, but it's a
It could
monosyllabic
be monosyllabic
conversation.
conversation, yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to have phone there. Now, Leticia, you work with teenagers. Is that pretty normal?
Oh, yes. When you ask them a question, that's pretty normal, yeah. When
Yeah.
they talk, but about what they want to talk, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And well, actually, I think it's all kids. I know a baby girl who's 6. She just started kindergarten, and you'll ask about her day, and she'll say, "Fine." She won't tell you. She'll tell you later if you don't ask. But so, number 10.
That's absolutely typical for my father.
For your dad? Your dad's like that.
Yeah.
And
But he's serious, and maybe that's why he don't want to talk a lot. He just answers, and that's okay.
I lived in Finland for 11 years, and that was pretty typical of a lot of men. I had this one student one time. It was a 1-to-1, and he was an engineer with a paper company, and his English was perfect. You asked him questions, it was really good, but his boss kept sending him to English class, and finally I explained to him why this was the case, and I said, it's not that you have any problem speaking English. You have very good English. Your problem is you don't speak enough. And so because you don't speak enough, your boss thinks you don't really actually know how to speak English.
Okay.
And I said, and then I explained to him that I usually would use 2 lessons with him when with most people I would use 1 lesson. And he got it. And he actually started working on actually talking more and speaking more. And when I had him bring in material from his job, and he explained to me what he did, he talked forever. So.
Yeah. English is languages for talkative people.
Yeah, it was for him. It was the small talk. It was the talking over, with clients and stuff like that. And I think that's pretty typical of a lot of men. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, would you say that's true?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, he wasn't listening. That's also a bad thing too.
Sorry. So sorry. What did you say?
Girls are speaking. That's okay.
The women are talking. We were actually talking about the word monosyllabic, and how a lot of men don't really talk much.
I want to talk much, but sometimes I tend to be like that.
Oh, do you have?
If there
That's a tricky.
kind of mother and child kids conversation, sometimes one-way conversation.
Yeah. Well,
maybe especially for teenagers, maybe they want to, maybe their feelings are ambivalent, they want to grow up.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have your advice or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe even if they want to explain, but they want to explain themselves enough. So maybe these reasons they remain silent.
They just don't say anything. And were you in the class a couple hours ago, Ake, where at the very end of the class, one of the guys, what was the question? It was about, I can't even remember, but he basically said that I think it was about the new consumer. It was about shopping habits, and he said that the shopping habits will always change because women are so moody.
Uh,
Did you catch
maybe
that?
yeah, I catch that. Maybe I don't like generalize kind of
Yeah.
too much generalize,
It
but
was
yeah, it is said in the market researchers, woman
yeah.
is a vehicle of the consuming,
Yes.
especially nutrient of
I
consuming.
thought it was pretty funny
But
that women are
I
so
think
moody.
in terms of the gadgets, many men are moody to
Yeah,
get new gadgets,
okay.
computer gadgets, as well
Yeah.
as women.
Okay. So about gadgets, yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go on. Very last one. Um, what's interesting, Lortzema concludes, is that everyone has a different bond with their parents. You will have spent 30 years with these people, so you will have an incredibly complicated web of a relationship. All these tiny little resentments will have built up, and things you have in common and things you don't. They are without doubt the most complicated flatmates you will ever have, or roommates in American English, roommates. Could any of you guys move back and live with your family?
No. It's not because of the fact that I left my home a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
It's difficult to spend with my parents more than a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have a great relationship with my parents,
Uh-huh.
but we have a different ways of life,
Mm-hmm.
and something for them is normal. I found this strange, and yeah, it's for me it's difficult to imagine that one day I will return, but I believe that it will be not it will be not a problem because
Uh-huh.
living far from my parents, I started to realize how they are important for me,
Mm-hmm.
and when even I'm not with them, but when I visit them, I try to give more positive emotions to them and not to quarrel with them and so on. So
Uh-huh.
after some living alone, I started to understand how it's how parents important for us.
Yeah. And well, and then sometime in your 30s, at least my experience in my mid to late 30s, I started to sound like my mom. It was like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I finished graduate school, I was 29, and well, 28, and I was going to turn 29 that summer, and I was heading to Finland, and my dad called me up and he said, "Holly, will you spend the summer living at our house?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, Dad, because before that, I could never go there for longer than a couple days without getting upset." And
Mhm.
we had the best summer, and I taught them how to use the computer, and it was so positive that the next summer he called me up and said, "Will you come back?"
Yeah, that's great. It depends on the emotions which we can give to our parents.
Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting though. So, and they were two really good summers, um, and now that my dad isn't around, it's something that I will always remember. So, anyway, number one, can you guys remember from the reading, how did not Alertsama feel about living with her parents again? Does anybody remember?
I think she felt like a child again, or
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she felt like I think that's what she had said. She felt like or she had messed up. She felt like a child again, and she had messed up. She felt like a
Yeah,
is I guess.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, according to the article, why are adults moving back with their parents?
Maybe because they are alone and they have no their own families.
That's not the main reason.
Maybe combination of increasing property price, student debt, and the collapse of the youth labor market.
Yeah. So it's basically finances because of the increasing property prices. They can't afford their rent or their mortgage. They have too much student debt, and maybe they can't find a job. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely right when it comes to Spain. Yeah,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think, and that's I think the same case. In fact, I think a lot of families, young people that have spouses and children are actually returning home, or like I know of one couple that were living with his grandparents, and and they had 2 kids, and the grandmother was a step, and she about killed him. It was not a good thing. So, um, okay, now according to the article, how many young adults are returning to their parents' home in the UK and US? You guys remember the numbers, or
3 in 10.
yeah,
Yeah,
3 out of 10. Yeah,
yeah, 3 in 10.
3 in 10. That's in the US,
Oh,
and in the UK it's even worse.
A third of men and a fifth of women.
Oh, really? Okay. A third UK and a fifth. So is a fifth less or more than a third?
Yeah,
Where's Araceli when we need
less.
a fifth is less. Okay, so more
Yeah.
men are returning home. So,
Yeah.
okay. What difficulties did Susanna Hamilton have to face when she moved back in with her parents?
Yeah, when she returned from parties or something like that.
When she was drunk.
Yeah. She was caught by her mom
Uh-huh.
on the cricket stairs. Yeah, and she wanted to be. Yeah, her mom always knew that she returned, so she wanted to be more independent in these questions.
Okay, yeah. So, number 5. What 2 advantages of being a boomeranger are mentioned in this article?
I think the opportunity to rediscover your parents and to make close bonds with them. Yeah.
Yeah, so an adult relationship, exactly. So bond in that respect. For me, that's been, I think, the best experience I had when I was 29, and now I'm very close to my mom. So because of that, we have our days, but. And what's another one? Naomi, can you think of one?
One advantage, another one. Basically, this that you have mentioned about the relationship.
I'm sorry. Can you speak up a little louder?
Yes, the basically this one to have a nice relationship. I don't know because it can be true or not. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, the relationship, that's an advantage. Another advantage is money. They can save money.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. Save money. Okay, and let's quickly go over some phrasal verbs and then discuss these phrasal verbs a bit. So complete the definitions below with the infinitive forms of the underlined phrasal verbs in the article. So let's do it this way. Bear with me a moment. Okay. I always have two of these up, so let's look at the article. So the underlined phrases in the article, and let's look at them. Bear with me. So first one, going around. So that she didn't smoke and going around like a reluctant toddler after a mom in the supermarket. What actually would that be? Anybody know?
Visited different place. To visit different places. Number 2.
Okay. Going around. Okay, and the next one. When I moved back, I really felt I had messed up. What does to mess up mean?
To do something badly or wrong.
No.
Mess something up, yeah. To do something badly
Okay.
wrong. To increase the number to be about to experience it. Yeah. Yeah, because you can mess something up or you can mess up.
Messed. Yes.
Okay. Let's look at the next phrasal verb, which is, are we heading for an era where adolescence stretches right through the 20s?
To enter a room or building?
Not heading for, no,
Oh.
oops.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Used to.
Increase the
To
number
be
of
about, to experience a bad or difficult situation.
yeah. So if you're heading for something, to be about to experience something. So if you're heading for a problem or you're heading for a difficult situation, yeah. Okay.
Does it always have this negative connotation?
No, it doesn't. In this respect, it
Okay.
does.
Okay.
Yeah. In this respect, it does. We're going to start in the bottom here. All these tiny little resentments will have built up, and things you have in common and things you don't.
To increase
Mm-hmm.
the number of something.
Yeah.
Number of amount of something.
Yeah. Build something up. So resentments, problems, you could build. It could be built up. Exactly. But this is not letting me do this. Okay, build up. Okay, next up, let's go. Put towards a deposit. It will enable them to save money to put towards a deposit.
To use to pay part of the cost of something.
Yes. So to put money toward, put something as in money towards something. Yes. Okay, and a 28-year-old officer has moved in with his mom.
To start living somewhere.
Yes, moved in. Okay, and the next one, came in, to enter a room or building, to come in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I would like to kind of do more of a free conversation with this. We just have a few more minutes left. Naomi, I'm going to ask you a question, and then after you answer the question, you can use one of the phrasal verbs and ask somebody else, okay? So can you tell us about a time when you moved in with no, I'm going to change that. Could you tell me about a time when you were able to save money to put it up for something else? towards something else? Have you been able to do that?
Can you repeat the
Yeah.
question?
Can you tell us about a time when you were able to put some money up towards something else? I'll write it down. Can you tell us about a time when you were able to put money up, put money towards something?
I have to use build up. Build
Yeah,
up.
to put money towards something.
Oh,
Can you, or is this too difficult?
I don't know.
Okay.
The sentence.
Well, I'll try something else. When was the last time? When did you move in with the people you currently live with?
Number one.
Yeah. So when did you move in with someone you currently live with? Oops.
With, but I moved. I moved to start living alone.
Okay. So Holly, it's difficult to answer that question because I'm living alone. Okay. That's totally fine. That is an answer, and that is fine. Can you choose one of the phrasal verbs and form a question? And these are actually quite hard. It's not easy. And ask Aka, Leticia, or Elena a question. If you need some help, tell me. I just thought of another question. Actually, I'm going to ask it, okay? This is general for all four of you. Do you think the world is heading for a financial collapse?
I believe not.
Okay, so you're not sure. You don't think so, Elena. What do you think, Leticia?
Well, I think I'm not sure. I think nowadays we are trying to recover from the current crisis, economic crisis. But I think in the future maybe the world might head for a financial collapse if politicians doesn't start if politicians don't start to do things better. Yeah.
Okay. So because that's basically what I'm hearing is that we're heading for a financial collapse. Now, okay, you laughed when you read that question. So talk to us.
Okay, it's a big question, but many people worry about current kind of financial capitalism problem, and I think if the world return, it's a kind of matter of balance. Too much financial capitalism is devastates our economy. So if we return to more actual business-based society, maybe we can survive.
So if we changed the way that we did things.
Maybe we need to change the system.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Naomi? Are we heading for financial disaster?
Well, in Spain, most of the economists are saying that. But I think, like Leticia said, I think it's just a period, and the future will be better.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because I'm hearing a lot of people from Spain more concerned about it, and a lot of Americans are very concerned about it as well. Um, that I'm hearing. My mom, especially, is like doomsday. So, um, okay.
Yeah, but I agree with Aka that crisis a matter of now getting out of it. It's a systemical problem, yeah, and it has to do with capitalism and the way we conceive growing and production, yeah.
Yeah, and there needs to be some radical changes.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. So let's go to this question. Is there a boomerang generation in your country? Or is it normal for young adults to live with their parents? What are the reasons for this? So I think Leticia and Naomi, you guys have said that it definitely is happening in Spain. Is it happening in Russia?
No, not for this generation. Yes, it exists. Sure, it depends on economical situation of each family, but normally, as I said, new generation try to organize their life not with their families and just being independent.
Yeah, so they're definitely not doing the boomerang thing. How about in Japan?
Yeah, definitely it is happening. Maybe it began to say 1980s or something.
Okay, so it happened earlier. I know that my mom has always called everybody in their 20s. She considers it the boomerang generation. Even if you don't move back, you end up going back. You end up calling your parents all the time or something. So, but she's always called it that. So when I saw this article, I thought, oh, Mom, you know. But all right. Well, thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope you guys learned some new vocabulary words and ways of saying some things. And I hope you all have a great day. Continue to have a good day, as they say in Finnish. They say hyvää päivää jatkoa. Continue to have a good day. So thank you very much. I'm heading to bed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.